Hey, this is the Kurt the Boat Doctor. Well, Easter went okay. You know, wish this video would get done, or not video, COVID-19. Anyway, I'm out here in 2000, I believe, 18, 2500 Admiral Defiance. Nice boat. Right in that, I think that 45-mile range, and that was against the current. Yeah, 45 both ways. Little kicker did 4.8 to about 5, if I remember right on my notes. And you can always get your hands on these notes too. That gives you a lot of information, like tire size, ball size, if it has load guides, doesn't have, what pitch prop, you name it. So the kicker did 5.86 and 4.84, turned 6,000. It planed in about 2.5, 3 seconds, which is really good. One motor did about 29 miles an hour using the trim tab down. I'll show you all that stuff. Now there is a little list, and all this stuff will be fixed. That's why I take these boats out, and then we put them online to make sure everything. Call the customer, that owns it and stuff, and say, hey, you want to fix this stuff, which 10 to 1 he will. So what I got here, I corrosion next anything I seen with a little bit of rust on it. I added brake fluid. I think the brakes work, but it just needed fluid. The tire pressure, just check the tire pressure. And starboard front gear oil hub, looks like there's a little water maybe in it. I'm going to have them check that. It needs a good wash inside out, and it has bottom paint. Kicker I got running pretty good. Need lock latch, which is this right back here. That's in the bilge, right down at the bottom by that bilge pump, that auto, and it does have 2 bilge pumps, one here and one in the cabin. This is your macerator pump, and that pump, I think it's plugged up. They just have to undo those 2 ends of those hoses and clean it out because they're not draining the fish boxes. It's got a lot of room. They don't waste a lot of space in the back. Your primer bulb, and kicker. Over here, got a little flight table. Downriggers are up in the cabin. Some of the thumb screws I put right in here somewhere. Oh, maybe I put them down in here. Yeah, for your downriggers, electric. Then with your plugs back there with the reset buttons. This is your remote for your light. You just turn here and it turns the light on up and down in 360 degrees. I'll put that right in here. That works. Your batteries are up underneath here. Your shut-off switch and your relays for your bilge pumps. I tightened up the hose. I got that from start leaking. If you ever turn that thing on and it goes brr, brr, that means it's leaking water. If it's going real slow, it's probably coming out of the gun or the washer that's going to the side over there. It's got a 135 gallon fuel tank in here, storage. And then I'm going to slip this to, since we're drifting right now anyway, I'm just going to spin the dial over to like sonar, traditional. Just push on it. We're in 16 feet of water. So what we're doing is, what I'm going to do is probably just go back here since it's easier. On starting the kicker, sometimes you got to do it different, but just trim it down like this. And then you sometimes you got to push and turn the key. Once it's warmed up, just turn the key. And let's see if it's running. Yep, you can lift the lever. Yep, it's running. So I'm going to back it up. And then you can steer it from back here. You also got your 840XS here, GPS. You got fish finder. You got, here's all your charts. You got perspective 3D, which is kind of neat. That's running off of that unit up there. You'll see this is loading up. And it backs up really good. Again, this is the kicker motor. So I'm going to spin this thing around a little bit in reverse. See, there's 3D. And then you can go back. You can go to standard navigation if you want. Or you can go back. You can do radar overlay. Oh, I turned the radar off. So you got to hit menu, transmit radar. So now I'm going to put it forward. And there's your radar. overlay on that. And that gives me, we're in 15 feet of water, so I'm going to get us out of there. And then we can go over here, we can go back home. You can do sonars if you want. I would move the transducer down. It does pretty good. Probably 35 miles an hour, 40, about 35 I'd say. It will read the bottom, but you go any faster than that and you will lose. So traditional, you just hit the buttons over here. There's your A-scope. So if you had a blimp here and a blimp right after, like there was nothing there, I can tell you if there's a fish. Right there was a blimp, but I didn't see anything going after that. It's normally it's got to be these colors here, these brighter colors. Sometimes you'll get one off of a blue. So then we can go back. There you go. That's fish right there. That's living. Anytime you get the yellow, and then you see that over there, you got grass on the bottom. So then we go over here, and then we can go to sonar. We can go to down view. Good down view. Go back again. You can go to side view, left and right. Then you go into your menus. If you want to change any of the frequencies, ranges, zoom. We're going in circle, then just go back, take you back to that one, or you go home, and it takes you home. Radar, you can do just cruising. Like right here if you wanted to, or radar overlay if you want to do that. So we're just going to put it on radar overlay, and then that puts it right back onto your map. Now say you just want straight radar, you can go back and you can go to cruising. Then it's just radar only. Okay, C-Star hydraulic. This is hooked up front and back for your main steering. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. I'm going to open this thing up a little bit. Now I can go up here and steer it as well. Now we're running on the kicker motor. Now I'll turn on the autopilot. You got tachometers. You got a half a tank of gas. I put 40 gallons in, or 43 gallons in with Startron. Trim tabs work. You can steer with those. I did have to tear that apart and fix that safety lanyard, but I think it's more in the lanyard. Those get spread out a little bit sometimes, and they won't pull the button out all the way. So now that's running right now. That should be hooked up. So I hit engage. Autopilot kicker motor. Those you got hydraulic steering on the right motor with the tie bar and a tie bar to the kicker. So it's holding the course. The teardrop and this blue, a little transparent. So it's holding. So say I wanted to go over like 10 degrees, I can hit this and just hold it. See that yellow? Now this little transparent blue is going to go right on top of that. Now that kicker is doing that off of autopilot. Then you can actually go home over here, and then there's all these options. You don't have this. This is live view, real view, live scope. You can get this. This is capable. So then what we want to do is go to AV gauges and controls. We want to go to autopilot. Right there, there's our autopilot there. Now say I wanted to change, I just highlight. If you watch, I push on it, it's going to change it 1 degrees. So that's your, you can do it here or there. And then you can actually, I think, stop the autopilot too from here, if I remember right. Menu, pattern steer forward. Oh, and then you got all your pattern steers and stuff here too. But I'll do that on the main one. So, oh, heading hold right here. But I got there's a way to get down into that. This one where it says heading hold. But I'll be darned if I know where that's at. Focus, no. Select, no. Oh, that. Oh, see how I just selected at 10 degrees. I actually hit 20. But let me see, nav info. Nope. Back. Heading hold. Oh, I did it again. So we're going to stop this and steer because we're going to get in shallow water. We're about 13 feet right now. And again, we're running off the kicker. You have a compass sitting right there. And now I can steer from here and back there, which is kind of nice. So then if I hit menu, I can engage heading, hold right here if I wanted to. There you go, it's holding course. maybe. Yeah, there you again. It's catching up to itself. But I just don't know how to get that sucker, because that's going to be 10 degrees. If I hit menu, autopilot setup, edit overlays, and I ain't going to touch any of those because it's working great. So I'll just go back. So anyway, that's that. And then you got your bilge pump, they work. You got one here, one back there. You got the fish boxes, they got to tear that thing apart to see why it's plugged. Wash down works, I tried that. That's this button right here. And then you got your horn right here, you got your wipers right here. Nav lights worked, I'll turn those on. Spreader lights, they need to get on those. They work, you can see, but I sprayed some corrosion X, so they need to loosen those up so you can tilt them. So then you can go back into home again on this one. You can go to combinations, and you can do like this one right here, number 3, select. And that gives me traditional with radar overlay on that, on the GPS. So, got that fixed, got the motors. That's a safety lanyard. The macerator needs to be looked at. You got your electric downriggers are up front there. Sea glazed door, anchor light works. And see how much time I'm on here, 11, so I'm going to start 2.